Um, so we really gonna go with this Instagram storyline for this episode? Okay. So Yandy meets with Juju and she wants to, you know what, before we even go there, Juju, sis, you are better than this wig. And I know Cameron got money. I, sis, you are better than this wig. You gave us so many great hairstyles for your first few episodes. So, this Sally's beauty wig, you're better than this. Then Yandy tells Juju that she never told Mendices that they weren't legally married, and they talk about how he reacted and my husband hung up on me, as he should. That was shady. But then Yandy drops this tea. Samantha's best friend called Yandy and told her that little Mendices is in danger and that Samantha and Erica is working up on something. So Yandy goes, then I had to jump into stepmother mode or whatever because I love me some Mendices Jr. And I was just like, girl, you need to stay in your place and mind your business. That is not your son. That is not your responsibility. See, this is why I couldn't be a stepmom, because what I don't feel like is getting into anything with that baby mother. I would do the bare minimum with that kid. First of all, I wouldn't even be around my stepchild or whatever without their father, because no, you're not going to give that baby mom a reason to come and ring my phone and get on my nerves and make my life a mess. She's not going to have nothing to say about me. Did I say anything to your son? Please, I barely look his way. You don't ever have to worry about me trying to be his mother. Then we head on over to Black Love, Remy and Papoose, and we finally get to see the new manager that Remy hired, and it's not Juju. I thought it was Juju. I felt like they were leading up to it being Juju. Anyway, the new manager's name is Shy, and she's pregnant, but she's working. She's a working mom, and she's killing it. And that leads Papoose to be like, I love her. I love having Shy in your life because that shows you, Remy, that you can be a mom and a career woman, because he really wants a baby. And I just think that that's so beautiful, because I really feel like Papoose wants to have a child to bring, not to bring them together, but when you love somebody, you want to create something wonderful with them. And I really think that that's what's happening here. They are my favorite out of every Love and Hip Hop franchise. They are my favorite couple. You know what? I think they surpassed Chrissy and Jim for me. I really, really do. I love this couple. Love, 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 Black Love. And we cut to Cisco, who's meeting with Tara. Tara, the Shakespearean actress who was slumming it on Love and Hip Hop New York. She's discussing his issues that he has with Peter, and basically Cisco is trying to squash it or whatever, but he doesn't really know how to, because him and Peter almost got into their argument on the last episode. So Tara is trying to figure out what's going on, and I'm telling you, she was Miss Classy. I can't believe this is happening. Until Cisco said that he made sure that Peter and get that $10,000. When he said that, Miss Tara was just like, oh, so you took money out of my kid's mouth. And we got to see who she really is. I was like, oh, don't mess with Tara and them kids, because Peter got to feed that village that he has fathered. It's not a game. So then while they're going back and forth, Cisco goes from 0 to 100 real quick, like out of nowhere. There was no reason for him to get like that. It was so forced, and I just couldn't take it. He gave us his best Tyler Perry bad guy performance. It was so over the top. I'm never gonna apologize to them. They disrespected me. It was so much. And first of all, this bar was really empty, and maybe they didn't have it in the budget, but they hired one extra, and she was sitting next to Cisco. But let me tell you something, that extra was not the one, because when Cisco was doing that popping off, she was giving him her best sister side eye, like, try me. Try me. I will get some camera time up in here if you think you want to pop off and start throwing cups and hands. That sister was not having it, because when he jumped up and went crazy, she was like, looked at him like he was short. We head over to the studio with Snoop, and she's in the studio with her artist, Sophie Green, or Sophie Turner. Anyway, she's getting advice from her friend Vado or Vado. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. I forgot. But it's late. She's getting advice about some issues that she's having with Jay. And you know what, Snoop? I like you. But we have to do something about this Scarface persona. I can't take it. The whole, I don't know if she wanna get this pie or if she wanna get a girl back. It's too much. And I'm not saying this because you're a girl. If you were a guy, I would be annoyed. I'd be like, you are putting it on thick. I feel like all the like people who are trying to like be tough put it on thick. Snoop and Cisco are the number ones. It's too much. It's like nobody in New York or B-more is this hard. It's just way too rough that I'm not believing it. I'm starting to feel like you're putting on hood face. You know what I mean? Like you're putting on this hood caricature, trying to make us believe something that is just not real. It's so forced, in my opinion. Now you just may be like that in real life, but I just feel like, especially in your confessionals, it's so much where I'm just like, you know what? Maybe you are like that, because I remember when you was talking about Mama. You went full Godfather. It was, you know what? Maybe this is how you are. Disregard Snoop. Do you? DJ Self meets with his new artist, Marjorie Galore. He meets with her. Why am I messing up everybody's name tonight? Anyway, he meets with her and he's discussing that he's going to put her on like a pre-Powerhouse stage. Now, I will say this about Self. Say what you want about this Creep Squad and how pathetic it is. I feel like out of all of the seasons that I've watched Love and Hip Hop, whichever franchise, I really feel like he's probably the only one really getting his artist work and really, really doing something, because Powerhouse in itself is huge. So I really feel like he is, when the cameras are off and when the cameras are on, he's putting in work. So I think that, you know, I was signed with him, but I was just coming out. You know what I mean? So he's really, really good. But anyway, he's meeting with this Galore girl, and all of a sudden she brings up how Mariah Lynn is talking about her. And I'm like, I knew it. I knew from the moment they first met that she was going to make Mariah Lynn her storyline. And it's so sad, because I really hope that you're not going to be on this show pulling out weaves and throwing drinks, because I saw a few of your videos on YouTube, and I think you have some really good hood talent. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit up here and say that you'll be the next Nicki Minaj, but I feel like you have something really specific, and there's an audience for that. And I would hate to see it all go out the door because you're, for lack of a better term, you know, cooning on network TV. So I really, really hope that you get it together and don't make Mariah Lynn your storyline, because listen, honey, you could be the 2017 Lumity. Say what you want. She had one hit, but we all remember her. So Remy is performing at VH1 Hip Hop Honors, the Ladies of Hip Hop. If you guys have not seen that show, I highly recommend that you find it on demand. I think VH1 still has it up there because I have it saved. That show was amazing. Let me tell you something. I pop locked, I rapped, I had a full performance in my living room. I danced so hard that my hair, it was a twist out. It sweated up into a fade. It was not a game. And Teyana Taylor killed it, and Remy, but Teyana Taylor came out the box slaying. That is a great show. You guys need to check it out if you have on demand. It's worth your time. Anyway, after she performs flawlessly, Papoose takes her out to dinner, and you know, he gives her a pregnancy test because he wants to get her pregnant. Adorable. Love them. Self and Mariah Lynn meet up for brunch, and Mariah Lynn conveniently signs this contract because she knew not to play herself out of position. Because after she saw how Cisco acted a plum fool, she was just like, you know what? Ain't nobody else checking for me besides Mr. Crazy, Puerto Rican Mr. Clean. Let me go ahead on and sign with Self so I could get put on. Which is wise, because I told y'all, Self is doing stuff. He is really doing it. He don't talk about it. He really does it. I don't know, outside of Remy and Papoose, I really don't know the receipts of everybody else. I know that, I remember Peter Guns from back in the day, though. And even that song that he's known for, even when that comes on, I don't care where I'm at. Listen, I go off. That song will ever be a hit. Get at me. Maybe just for the East Coast, but I don't care. Mariah starts going on about being a first lady of Gwinnett. Guys, this ain't Bad Boy. You know, this... Chill out. Chill out and calm down. Girl, I thought you were about getting your paper and being a professional. Who cares what position you're in? If you are working and living out your dream, isn't that enough? Now you got to be the first lady of Gwinnett. Listen, I said that Self is doing some things. I didn't say that he was Diddy. Andy meets with Samantha's best friend, not anymore, about Mendices Jr. being in trouble, and Samantha's ex-best friend drops this gem that Samantha and Erica are trying to like take Yandy down and conspiring against her and sending stuff to the blogs. I really hate how blogs have become a storyline for these reality TV shows. I'm over it. Like every reality TV show that I watch, there's like some blog storyline. Let it go. Stop talking negatively about the blogs, because at the end of the day, these guys are keeping you afloat. You know what I mean? The New York Times ain't writing about you. The blogs is. So stop hating and appreciate. She apologizes to Yandy for being a part of that trio of cackling bitter heifers who was talking about her, and she says that she has these recordings, and Yandy is just like, what? Really? I don't buy it. I don't buy this whole scene, because first of all, the tapes were already leaked to the shade room. And I mean, what I heard was just like, what? It just seemed so forced and so fake, and I hate when, I know this stuff is fake, but let me believe some of it, please. But this scene just seems so forced, and I was just like, over it. I don't even know why Samantha's ex-best friend is trying to get on here, but you know what? Listen, girl, you got to pay your rent, so honey, flourish. Do what you got to do to get on the show, even if it means coming against your once best friend. Self gets Mariah Lynn and the Galore chick to meet, and it's so childish. It's so unprofessional. You guys are always on here talking about your career, how you want to get it off the ground and be somebody, but y'all act so unprofessional. You two are fighting about who's the first lady of Gwinnett. Ain't nobody heard of Gwinnett until this show. Calm down. You have a contract. You're a working artist. You are living your dream, or at least working your way to get there. Why are you fighting about who's the first lady, or who said who? Y'all too old to be fighting about, oh, so I heard you said this about me, and I heard you say, what are you, 16? Act like a professional. You have the opportunity of a lifetime, and you two are fighting over absolutely nothing. So then Self makes up this whole thing. Now I only got one spot for the powerhouse stage, so you two have to battle it out, and whoever is the best gets the spot. Listen, I know it's for storyline, but y'all some fools for doing that, because I would have been like, no, you told me I was performing on this stage. Galore should have been pissed. She wasn't as pissed as I believe that she should have been, but, to say that you're going to do something for your artist and then take it back, listen, Self, I think you're doing a great job, but that was unprofessional in my opinion. Like, you can't do that. Say you got the stage, then take it back. And no, now you got to battle it out. What? Snoop has her gorgeous gangsta launch party, and to be honest, a lot of the artists I could rock with them. There were a lot of nice local artists, very particular to a certain coast, very East Coast. You know what I mean? Like I could, like when a Baltimore girl came out, I was like, yes, I could see this going down and be more. So yeah, her lineup was really, really good. Jay is there, and she's getting fake drunk. Like, I like Snoop. I don't like Jay on this show for Snoop, because I don't believe the relationship at all, and I feel like Jay does way too much because she's an actress, you know what I mean? So she's trying to make her character be very believable to a fault. So this whole relationship bothers me. They get into this whole argument because Jay is getting drunk and acting a mess. Can I just say this about Love and Hip Hop events? They have these concerts, they have these launch parties, they have grand openings. They are never packed. Is it a security issue? Every Love and Hip Hop event that they, set up or show on these episodes look very thin. Like nobody's there. Like it was a whole concert. They're trying to get people hyped, and I'm like, it's 20 people in the audience. What? Why is there nobody there? But this is consistent for Love and Hip Hop. Like everywhere they film, it's not a lot of people. So I don't know if it's contractual or if it's safety, but I have noticed that in almost every season that their events are always slim. Cisco and Peter meet about the Creep Squad. Why? Oh, Mona, why are you doing this to us? Why are you guys dragging this out? We told you from the beginning when they came out with this Creep Squad mess that we don't want it. Like, stop giving it to us, please. I hope that this episode is the end of it, but I think next week they're going to try to drag it throughout the season, and I hope I'm wrong. Please let next week be the last episode. Anyway, Cisco and Peter meet and they talk about the whole money issues or whatever. And Cisco, nobody has ever agreed with you. I don't understand where this storyline that you're coming up with, that you're upset that Rich and got Peter and they tried to get you out of some money with this rest. It doesn't hold up because your reaction is just so over the top and so ridiculous. Even the way you're talking in the confessionals, like Cisco is really over the top regardless, but in the confessionals it's just Peter talking to me. It's so unnecessary. I was like laughing the entire time, like, why is he talking like that? Is he trying to make us believe that he's upset? I don't know. It was just weird. And I hope he never does that again. We get to the meat of, you know, what's going on with Cisco, because Peter's just like, man, what's really going on? Because they do this whole fight where they leap over this very, what kind of car is that? I don't know, a Lexus Jeep? I don't know. They leap over this car and they get into this altercation, but nothing really happens because the security is always like a foot away from each cast member. So nothing really happens. They calm down and then Cisco tries to emote. I'm not laughing at the fact that he's going through something with his mom. I hope this is true. Like, I really hope that you're not saying that your mother is dying and, you know, like when the season is over, you're like, oh, she's cured. Like, I hope like something is really happening and that you're just not using this for a storyline. But man, when you tried to cry, I was like, oh, he's trying. Like, he's trying to make that voice shake, but nothing was coming out. So anyway, I guess the emoting and his voice shaking got to Peter, and he, you know, he tells Peter what's really going on, and they eventually squash it. You know, Cisco says he'll give Peter the money, and Peter's like, no, I don't want the money. I want my brother. That was cute, but that was also very stupid. Peter, you have 10 children. You need to be diving for change at this point. So I hope you recant that statement that you don't want that money back from Cisco. Truth be told, it probably wasn't no money in the first place. Story. That was the conclusion of this episode. Next week, Drewski has a sex tape. Keep it. We get a bunch of empty Gwennon concerts. Mariah Lynn and Galore fight. Already over it. We also get more of the Creep Squad. Why? And Yandy and a baby mama's fight. Yandy, I really hope that you got a bonus this season, because I am very disappointed that with all of your accomplishments, your storyline this season has been baby mama number 3, who's holding down a man in jail that she's not married to. You're so much better than that, in my opinion. And I just feel like you've been on the show long enough for you to have a much better storyline. Maybe you gotta pay the piper, because you've been the good girl for so long, so maybe this is like, you gotta get grimy every few seasons if you want to stay on. Maybe that's what's going on, but I hope next season is about your career, because I really love that. Although this show is ratchet and there's so many things going on, it also is a look into the music industry, and I really like seeing a young black woman being an entrepreneur, walking and being a boss, and really doing her job and doing it well. So I hope we get back to that, Yandy, because your personal life is just so ratchet and embarrassing, and it's not a storyline I want to watch anymore. I'm just over it, because at the end of the day, I know a lot of this is fake and forced, but you guys are really family. Like, kids are really involved in, and it's just ugly. This storyline has got to go. Leave it with adults who like don't have real relationships, that they can just fake the funk and fight and, you know, get together and break up and it's nothing. But like when you bring family and kids, and it's ugly. So please let this go. So that was the episode. If you like this, please like, comment, and share so we can interact together. And I will see you next week for whatever episode it is of Love and Hip Hop New York. See you then. Bye.